This is the video review for Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Topspin. Topspin is a NASCAR Impala, but unfortunately, at least for me, he's one of those Stealth Force figures. Has a mechanized alt mode, and I've never quite gotten into those. I think they're more... I don't know, they're just not for me. I prefer to have a clean alt mode. Because, especially since this guy's transformation, it doesn't really do anything where you would need to hide robot bits in plain sight. Like, it doesn't have rocket boosters back here that'll turn its shoulders, doesn't have... basically, what makes it a mechanized car mode is just the sculpt. Nothing about the transformation. He could have a clean car mode, and the transformation could be exactly the same. So it's not even like Human Alliance Roadbuster, where there is kind of a reason why he is a mechanized car, because his transformation changes because of it. So, honestly, I would buy it if Hasbro re-releases this guy as a retool with just a clean alt mode. I would like that. But having said that, I don't mind this figure. He's a pretty nice figure. He does look striking and imposing. I do like how he has 1, 2, 3, 4 little guns on him. They can be removed. And this is the kind of thing where I can see people buying multiples of the figure just so that they could have the guns. Not necessarily the best use of money, but they aren't bad little guns. So the car itself, well, doesn't roll that great, especially on this surface. Part of it may be that I didn't transform him as perfectly as I should have, but actually, if I turn these arms around, that should change it quite a bit. So put these back in, and yeah, like that he should roll a bit better. Yeah, the problem is I had the arms in the wrong way, because the way I had them out, there's a place where 3mm weapons can clip on, and that was facing down and dragging on the ground. So he doesn't roll bad. One thing is, there's a big crack right here in the sculpt. It's on the other side, but not as bad. I don't know if it's partially a problem with the paint, like it's not applied up here all the way as it is on this side. I'm not sure what's causing it. I've opened up, I've looked at it. I shaved down a little plastic because I could tell one thing was in the way. But once I got that out, shaved away where it couldn't be a problem anymore, it helped the problem a little bit, but it still persisted. So I don't know what's going on with that side. I've seen quite a few in the store. I've looked for the crack, and most I've seen have had the crack. Actually, I don't remember seeing one that didn't. Enough about the alt mode, let's transform this guy. First thing you do is you hinge up the hood here and fold in this piece here. Unhook the legs from the side, and he kind of pulls an animated lockdown where the side of the front of the car folds down into the thigh, and the side of the car becomes legs. However, it doesn't end up being quite so drastic because this part will flip in here, which cuts the length of these leg pieces significantly. Rotate the legs down, peg them together. Now we're starting to get some height on this guy. Turn them around above the waist, or at the waist. And then next, we'll pull these arms down. We'll take this backpack piece. We'll separate it. It comes into two pieces. And then these will just sort of sit out to the side. and this will rotate back. The way I prefer to handle these is rotate them around like this, fold this piece up, and they pop off pretty easily. And then hinge it so that this windshield part here goes under the roof of the car. That was folded onto the back. It can be a little bit challenging to do, but once you get it, I think that's the best place for these. Putting them there, it keeps them out of the way, it keeps them... I think they look best in that place, especially if the guns attached. And actually, I'll do that right now. Because it does look pretty impressive with the guns on. No, I think that's a side gun. Honestly, I can't tell which guns I put where. They look a little bit different, but for the most part the same. Now the ones that go on top are a little bit smaller. And then you will pull the arms out like this. They're on sort of a hinge like this here. Then you'll hinge the head forward, then squeeze these shoulder pieces together, and that will help lock the head piece into place. Put the arms into position, and we have a pretty neat looking robot mode. And here you see why I like doing the backpack the way I do it, because it folds everything up quite nicely, and it gives him a pretty neat backpack with all of his guns displayed, and without much risk of popping anything off, because everything is pretty solid where it is. He has a very nice, although somewhat bland head. It just needs a little bit of paint. It can turn, but the kind of dreads or these hair-looking pieces do kind of bump into stuff every once in a while. Oh, come on. Yeah, these backpack pieces are annoying. Even with how I typically handle them, they will still come off. His arms are ball-jointed. Oh, they can hinge in like this, so he can cross his arms over his chest, which is pretty nice. Most figures can't do that, although they are bulky enough that you can't really get a good my arms across over my chest pose. It's about the best you can do. It works, but we're not quite to human levels of arm crossing. Arms go forward, back, out. They can rotate above the elbow, but so often trying to rotate that joint inward will result in this instead, so it is somewhat annoying. Then he has 90 degrees at the elbow. There's a little hand sculpt in here, and he has these claw weapons, kind of like animated Ratchet. His legs go forward, back, out. No swivel above the knee, except for what the ball joint will give you, and then quite a bit at the knee. And then the toe here can go side to side and up and down. So you get not the most posability in all places, but enough to get some fairly striking poses for a pretty nice looking robot. Although his backpack can weigh him down somewhat, making him a little bit top and back heavy. And then just having these wheels on the inside doesn't help his balance, but once you get him into a stable pose, he'll stay there pretty well. So, in conclusion, his car mode, it looks nice enough. I wish it were not mechanized. I like the transformation, and the robot mode is pretty good. And those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching.